Recently I have made a video about those fake cheap eBay lithium-ion cells, which actually have about 500 mAh each, no matter how much they say. But this one stands out because it says it has 35 amps discharge current. Really? So let's try this out. And I guess this battery cannot give 35 amps even in a short circuit. And what I'm going to do is actually not a good idea. It's actually a really bad idea. I'm going to stick my ammeter directly to the battery. So basically I'm going to short the battery out. Or actually not short it out because the multimeter has some resistance. There is a shunt with some resistance, maybe a fuse with a resistance, and the wires with a resistance. So basically I'm going to connect a very low resistance to the battery. And I have a second multimeter set to volts, and this is gonna measure the voltage on the battery. This is gonna be tricky because I will need about 4 hands for this experiment. So let's measure the voltage first, and it is almost full. And this is definitely not going to be a good idea because the battery can burst into flames at any point. 25 amps at about 1.5 volts. No, that's definitely not gonna give 35 amps. 28 amps, 1.3 volts. And the battery is now slightly under 4 volts. And let's connect the current meter now. Almost 30 amps at 1.5 volts. And the current drops very quickly. And the battery is quite hot now. And I expect it to burst into flames at any moment. And because this battery has some internal resistance, the higher current we draw, the lower is the voltage of the battery. And as the current goes up, the voltage goes down. And maybe I think that those guys actually measured the 35 amps at short circuit. So basically they connected a low resistance current meter to the battery and measured 35 amps. And this is how they got this rating, which is absolutely crazy. And this really seems to be the case because when I was getting close to 35 amps, the voltage was getting close to 0 volts. So this battery is able to give 35 amps, but only in a short circuit where you have absolutely no useful output voltage. And this condition is of course going to destroy the battery in just maybe a few seconds, and the battery can very easily burst into flames. So if those guys are coming to those current ratings by measuring the short circuit current, simply sticking the current meter directly to the battery, that's just really awesome. This is Diet Gone Wild, and see you in my next videos.